Good afternoon, everybody. It is 12:15, and we are here for another episode of Sustainable Brain with Dr. Sunita and as the brain coach. And we are loving this once a week, being able to sit with Dr. Sunita and get her input on different things. So if you like this or a previous episode, don't forget to look up Sustainable Brain for the West San Antonio Chamber. I am Kristi Villanueva, the president of the West San Antonio Chamber, and we are here to serve you and as the business community and the workforce of San Antonio. So Dr. Sunita, how are you today?
I'm great. And I wanted to recap a little bit of how we started this. So if you're joining us for the first time, Kristi and I would have conversations about entrepreneurship and the mental part of it, and then the mental game. And then as COVID happened and we went through all this, we're going through all the pandemic, Kristi and I decided we need to take this into a forum where we can have discussion and interaction. Now, interaction is really important because Kristi and I think the beauty is the back and forth between science and business. Kristi brings the business and I can bring science. But the most important thing too is that we have interaction. And so we've been taking this into a different format, which I'm really excited about. We've been able to interview business owners now. We have a dear friend, a business owner, Soma Tanveer. Soma, welcome to our show.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a part of this. And what we've been talking about is the mental game, right? Of staying in this, of going through COVID, going through a pandemic, being a business owner, and what does that involve? So Soma, thank you for joining us. One of the first questions I wanted to ask you, and Kristi, I know your time is limited, but I would love to hear anything you want to just jump in with. But my first question to Soma, Soma, first of all, introduce yourself and tell us what are your businesses, where are they located, so we can kind of put a frame around who you are and what you do.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Soma Tanveer, and I'm the owner of Great American Cookie, Pretzel Maker at North Star Mall. We have 2 locations there, and then the Pretzel Maker, a 3rd one. And then I also own the Marble Slab Creamery at the Riverwalk at the River Center Mall, and also Great American Cookie there. 2 locations there. We are in process of building a cookies and cream store, which is Great American Cookie and Marble Slab there, a 3rd location there at the River Center Mall. So what do we deal with? Gosh, Sunita, we deal with so much, with this new age of COVID. It's a roll with the punches strategy is what we're doing. We follow all the guidelines that the city sets for us, mask wearing, thermometer checking, making sure our employees are good, and making sure our customers are safe, making sure we're safe, so we go with what the city tells us that we're required to do. We're back up and open, running all stores, and looking forward to seeing the crowds that we used to see down at the Riverwalk or out at North Star Mall. So we're growing, growing pains all over again is what we're going through.
Yeah. Now, Soma, yes, go ahead. Kristi, no, you first.
So I'm sure Soma, tell us a little bit about how you felt, because you being, the owner of these different locations, and each location is kind of seeing something different, a different impact, a different result from the community. Yeah. So being downtown, I know you're in the mall, but as it shuts down, the stress is just on you and your family. Yeah. To try to figure out, okay, what are we going to do with everybody? How do we talk to our staff? Let me build in these new processes and procedures. Then sitting down and sharing with each individual coworker, and then as a group, that must have taken a little bit of a toll on you, and then for you to just keep going. And I ask this question because I have different business owners that I serve, and some get very angry. If you don't like it, you can leave. You don't have to work for me anymore. this is it. I'm just not dealing with it. And then I have other business owners that say, okay, let's compromise. Let's figure out how we can all work together. And then you can still reach out to me and I can help you during this downtime. So please tell us a little bit about that.
So for us, we've always had it's a family business mentality, and I don't mean just my family, but everyone that works for us, we consider family. And I think they would be very vocal in saying that as well in our good times, and also in our bad times. And so this was one of our worst times ever. We didn't have, we didn't realize we needed to have such strength in our relationships within our coworkers, but we do. And so we're proud of having built that, with all the coworkers. My general manager is basically a family member. And so we reached out to every employee. We told them that, hey, we're here for you. We took care of everybody that we could have, to survive mentally, and to survive financially. So we did all that we could possibly do. And 2 months was about the limit. We reached the limit.
Yes.
Quite a few employees that were asked to come back when we started up again, they said, well, unemployment's making me more money than I made in a ice cream shop, right? Or a cookie store. So those people are still home, but when they've changed their minds, or when they do, we'll be there, because they were with us in other good times and building of the whole businesses that we've had. So it's something we don't forget. We certainly don't forget. And we realize, for me, my number one priority is my faith, and then it's my family. And so my faith comes first in everything I do, and then my family. So family is not just my mother or my brother, my sister, my husband, my son. It's everybody that I work with. So, and everyone that works with us. So it's frustrating, most definitely. There's times that are frustrating, but we get through it.
That's
We
good.
get through it. Yeah.
Sunita?
Yeah, I think we talked a couple of shows ago about the different things we can do with our team. And we talked about authentic communication. And we also talked about like having them involved, like communicating, having an open door policy. And Soma, it sounds like you've been able to weather this storm and been able to, because we need to make decisions on the fly, but because you've got involvement from your employees and your communication with them, that relationship seems like it's been a huge thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, most definitely. The relationships have been a huge thing. It's something that we've been in San Antonio since 2013.
Right.
And so, but they're, I when I refer to, when my husband and I are talking about the employees, we don't say the employees, we say our kids, because they're all young, they're all young. So we say, how are the kids doing at Marble Slab, or how are the kids doing here? They're our kids. And I've got older people working also, but they're definitely mostly, younger adults. So
And this is a great leadership lesson for those young kids,
yeah.
for their future, for them to see you and your husband in this time of stress, and that you can share lessons with them. It's priceless, and they'll take that with them into the future.
Absolutely.
Completely. And I think, Soma, when I was asking about what you're doing to kind of weather all this, you also talked about the flexibility, because it looks like as business owners, we're having to make decisions day to day.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how you've been able to stay flexible?
Yeah. I mean, it's been, there's been an employee, if I can share this with you, recently in the past couple of days, who came in, and what we do is we check everyone's thermometer, with the fever, with the thermometer every day and twice a day sometimes. And So, someone came in with a slight fever. So we sent him home. He went out for the test and everything. And he's, thank God, come back negative. But, these are things that we will give him the time off. We make sure that he's on sick, on sick time. And, we've got to, it's a new world. So we've just got to roll with the punches all the time. We just, we're making decisions, like you said, on the fly, because we want to make sure that everyone's taken care of in a kind way,
Yeah.
Everybody deserves that. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's powerful. The other thing I heard too is one of your resources when you feel overwhelmed is your belief system, and that we know in any psychology, that's a great resource. It is a resource. So I know that that's important. One of the things I really loved that you talked about too was you really wanted business owners to support each other. And I know that's a big thing that Kristi also believes in is business owner to business owner support. Soma, can you talk a little bit about your ideas with business owners? And you said something about downtown and what would really be great. What would you like to see downtown?
So I'd love to see more of the local crowd go out to downtown. It seems to be a place where small businesses and larger ones. I mean, we all need that, and we were dependent mostly on a local going to downtown if there was an event or something, so they'd go to downtown for a concert or something like that, or just for a special dinner out at the Riverwalk or something. Or the biggest thing when you ask a local, hey, when was the last time you went to downtown? Oh, I had guests in town about 6 months ago, so I took them to the Riverwalk. That's the only time. I'd love to see the city get together and somehow provide free parking, which is the main reason why locals don't go downtown.
Right.
Somehow provide, some sort of a discounted, or I'd even venture to say free parking to give that to them. And there's a lot of revenue that's been earned on parking. And I would love for the city to put back into downtown area to provide such a thing. I think that would, steer people to the downtown area. There's so much to see. There's so much to do out there. It's beautiful. We have one of the best downtown areas in a long, I haven't seen such a great one in a long time. It's beautiful.
And
So I'd
Chris,
love to see that on the city part, and then, locals, for them to come out to downtown.
they could actually practice, we could practice social distancing very well.
Easily.
Yes. And I think there's a little bit of something, everything downtown, everything's available there.
The city is doing a lot. I mean, we as business owners can go to bear.org and obtain thermometers for free for our businesses. We can get a whole stash of masks, hand sanitizers, things like that. And they keep, replenishing the stock. So I've heard that we're able to get more masks and stuff so we can provide them for our employees. And then also every customer who walks in that doesn't have one, because now you're required to wear one everywhere you go. So this is great stuff that's coming from the city. I just, we're hoping to see a little bit more.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just had a conversation with Commissioner Justin Rodriguez a couple of days ago, and we were talking about the mask distribution and how he and the other county commissioners understand that this is a new expense and it's difficult. And then, as we saw in the news yesterday with the altercation that Judge Wolf had, the unfortunate altercation, and he was just taking up for the clerk and obviously for the order that he had put into place. So it's unfortunate that there is that downside, but I know a lot of the businesses are upset because they don't feel, I love that you're so positive, but there's a lot of business owners that are still very angry, and Sunita and I have talked about it. They're still in that one of the stages of mourning, and they're very angry and they're very sad and distressed, and don't know how to feel even about the free giveaways and the support. But
Yeah.
There's so many groups that have popped up just to help small businesses also and individuals,
True.
that it's been fantastic. So I definitely applaud your positive attitude and outlook, because that's what we need. We have to see this as an opportunity,
Yeah.
not a downturn and completely in the economy.
Yeah.
So, and my teenager, just
Let you,
comment about downtown. My teenager did take me he asked me to go for a walk with him downtown. And when I walked with him, it was very different to not be, because I'm either in a bus, like in a via bus, or
Mhm.
in a vehicle. That's it. I'm going through downtown, not
Yeah.
stopping in downtown. And when we actually walked through, it was a different feeling and it felt good. And you just looked at the whole city from almost like a different level,
right.
Yeah.
to say, wow, I'm surrounded by all these shops, all these great businesses. And
Yeah.
I had forgotten all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. And Kristi, I want to respect, I know you need to jump off. I can
Yes,
with
I,
Soma this
I
time.
needed, yes, I need to jump off, but please continue the conversation, and our staffer Socorro will take good care of you for the rest of the time. And please, we got to remind everybody, whether you're a business owner or an employee or a patron, as you're shopping, make sure to wear your mask. We have to take care of one another and be courteous as we move through the city and help rebuild the economy. And don't forget to take your surveys on SA Speak Up, because City Council will be making decisions, serious budget decisions, based on that data. So don't forget. And
Thank
I
you.
will thank you, Soma and Sunita. I will see you next Thursday.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Tanveer, you brought up a lot of, and I know you're Soma, so used to just calling you Soma, but a lot of good points that you brought up. First of all, the idea of being flexible, but I think you could be flexible because you had built relationships with your staff. And it sounds like you'd built them before all of this, but is it too late to build relationships with your staff now, in your opinion, and have a huddle with them or have a team meeting?
Yeah, no, we have, it's not too late. I think at any point you can start a relationship or rebuild or build, you can start building that relationship at any point. I don't think it's too late at all. If anything, this is the time to build them stronger.
Yeah.
Letting your employees know that you're there for them. The employees will be more loyal to the ownership and stuff. So it's never too late. I don't think so at all. No.
Right. Well, we talk about company culture, and it says there's a saying that company culture eats strategy for breakfast. So,
Mhm.
I mean, you can have all these procedures manuals on how to do things, but if you don't have a relationship with your team, your staff, company culture just I mean, that will take over procedure.
Yeah,
Even if, because company culture is what your team does when you're not looking.
yeah,
So it sounds like you had invested in company culture, continue to do that. And that's like, I don't know if when the shutdown happened, we were also isolated. I don't know if all of us thought about reaching out to our employees and still staying in communication during that whole thing. And now you're saying it's not too late to still reach out to them and have that relationship.
no, absolutely. It's important to stay in touch with everyone, not just your managers, but each and every employee um, should be made aware how important they are.
One last question, and I wanted to acknowledge something that you said before we started recording and everybody was on. You're just so grateful, and as a business owner, you actually appreciate like what bearcounty.org is doing with this, what our administration is doing to support business owners, and that's good to hear. Can you talk a little bit about that, your gratitude for what the local administration is doing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're very thankful for all of the little giveaways they've done. as a business owner, we'd love for them to, promote getting out to downtown more, getting out more, being safe with their mat, all people should walk out with masks and be cognizant of what they're touching and all of the stuff that we're supposed to adhere to. Most definitely. I'm expecting that San Antonio's will stand up for San Antonians. And that's what we are. We're all, we're all family. And that's the great thing about the camaraderie of San Antonians. It's we're all in it together. And we'll get out of it together. We'll most definitely get out of it together.
Those are excellent. That's an excellent,
Mm-hmm.
I think, we've talked about there's no right or wrong way of thinking, but you do want to align your thinking with the world that you want to create for yourself and your family and your community. So it sounds like, Soma, I can't say that your attitude is the right attitude, but I can say that the way it seems like your attitude is a reflection of what you want to create for your city and your family. So you've aligned your view of this with what you want to create.
Absolutely.
That's excellent. Is there anything else before I know you're still hiring, and that is great.
Hiring. Yeah.
You guys are hiring. You're still looking, and you know what's someone might have missed it, but when we got on the call, Miss Tanveer, Soma said that they had just broken ground on a huge new location at the River Center, and this happened.
Yeah.
How do you keep going when it makes no sense?
Yeah, that was scary. That was scary. But, after pulling ourselves together, right? Pulling ourselves together and realizing, okay, we're gonna get past this, we're gonna get through this, and we're gonna get beyond this. After that, we just kept pushing forward. The building it's still, the store is still being built. We should be completed by July 10th, maybe July 15th. Maybe we're hoping for July 4th weekend, but doesn't look like we'll make that date. But mid-July we should be open, and we've got to push forward. We've been looking for that location for a while, and so we're excited about it. We think San Antonio will come back. We've lost a lot of convention traffic that we were expecting to have during the summertime. But we think it'll come back once the airlines start, all of their routes like they're supposed to, things like that. People start traveling, it'll come back. It'll come back.
And for those of you that are listening and think, well, she's, positive thinking, whatever you want to call it, but here's what it is logically, as a scientist, the opposite way of thinking is that it's not going to come back and we're doomed. And so either way, you can choose either way. I'm not going to say, Soma, that you're right. I'm not going to say you're wrong. But I do see that if I was a business owner, the way you're thinking is just the only way I could afford to think, because I can't afford to think that this is doomed. I just can't, because then I won't be able to make decisions as a business owner that's going to allow me to keep going or growing.
Yeah.
So I can't even say that you're right, but what I can say is the other way of thinking about it just probably won't be real successful. Now, I do think we need to be cautious, and it sounds like you've done a lot of that too, but I think optimism is not it's not like the best way, but it's for a business owner, that's what we have to find a way. That's the only one we can afford, right?
We have to think it into existence, right? Believe it.
Well, quantum physics would agree with you.
That's right.
Anyone that wants to learn more about that, remember, let me just again, Soma Tanveer, and she is the owner of right now 4 locations, which is incredible. 2 in the River Center Mall, 2 at the North Star Mall. And the names of your companies again, Soma?
Great American Cookie and Pretzel Maker at North Star Mall, and Marble Slab Creamery and Great American Cookie at River Center Mall.
So you guys, that touches all of it, from ice cream to pretzels and cookies.
That's right.
And this is your brain coach, Dr. Sunita Punjabi, ABD. Don't forget, I am answering my phone. If you text me 210-884-1200, let me know you heard about us on this. I answer phones. I can't, sometimes I'm with in a session, but I will get to it, and we have people helping us answer phones. We are here. We want to feature more people like Miss Tanveer. We want to feature more business owners and learn from each other. So I want to thank you so much, Soma. Thank you for everything that you did for us today. Great information, little nuggets of advice. Thanks, everyone. Is there
Thank you
anything,
so much.
Soma, anything else you want to, last comments? Anything?
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a
You're
pleasure.
welcome. Everyone get out and, support with safety and under the guidelines, support your local business owners. We'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.